DoggieDiamondsNoFilter.com. As you know, that should be the website that you check on the daily. Anything pertaining to Doggie Diamonds, everything on there will show you the videos that you might have missed, the audios you might have missed, any merch, anything pertaining to me. If you want to get in contact with me, everything is right on that website. That is my official website, DoggieDiamondsNoFilter.com. Also, let me give you some information about this $100 promo deal that I'm running that you should jump on. I'm telling you, it will be beneficial to you. Let me give you some details. First of all, the promotion will be done on Doggie Diamonds TV, this channel, and the other channel, the Interlude TV. That's on the Insta stories, the YouTube communities, the Threads accounts, the Facebook accounts, and the Twitter accounts. I could promote whatever you need. Also, as a reminder, this is for serious inquiries only. You must be Cash App ready. I can help bring awareness to your brand, your products, your t-shirts, your website, whatever it is that you need help with getting awareness with, I can help you with that. Just contact me at Doggie Diamonds on Instagram. Let's go. What's up, everybody? I promise you this will be one of the ones. You know, when I say that, I mean it. So as you get into what we're going to talk about tonight, you should hit the like button already. As soon as you enter the room, you should hit the like button. The like button is very, very important. Just in case we start doing, YouTube start doing some weird stuff, stick with me. Sometimes they like to play games, but stick with me, bear with me. I'm not going anywhere till the show is finished. You understand? Yeah. Make sure you stick with me. I see y'all. Hood Politics ENT, where you been? Unpopular Opinions, Master Evans in the building. Tisha is in the building. Big Ma, those are my moderators. Chad Smith, I see you. Payo Mateo, that's a dope name. I like that. Mr. Madman, I see you. Rashonda, I see you. Bernadette, I see you. Brooklyn GQ, Brooklyn always in the building. The 90s Brooklyn Knights. Oh, the Brooklyn Knight. Yo, I love the Brooklyn Knight. I'm a fellow Brooklyn Knight. Knowledge, yes, I always have to pay homage to Big L. One of the dopest MCs ever. Richard Asante, I see you. Antoine, I see you. Legend, I see you. Neltron, always in the building. I see y'all. Don't forget.
Doggie Diamonds did this.
Jamar, I see you. Spin King Entertainment, how are you? How's everybody doing tonight? Tonight, you will get knowledge that you never heard before. You will learn things that you never knew before. I promise you. This is one of those ones. I don't care what everybody else be talking about. They never know what they be talking about. They be talking wild shit. We gonna talk about that real tonight. King, I see you. I appreciate you. I'm live every night. Doughboy 6'9", Derek Douglas, I see you. DZ81, I see you. Don't misconstrue the title. All lined up by the hood. Not in the hood, by the hood. Dice, I see you. Iceberg Slim, how you doing? Brian, don't forget.
Doggie Diamonds did this.
LaShawn, I see you. Pamela Lee, how are you? Always with me. Night in, night out. GAV, what's up? Yes, old school hip hop. This that boom bap that you need. Always produced by, always done by.
Doggie Diamonds did this.
Thank you, Melinda. I thank you. So what's up, everybody? I go by the name of Doggie Diamonds. You already know what I do. But tonight, I'm not alone. Tonight, I got a very special guest with me. Special in more ways than one because they're my family. They got their own podcast. And they got a lot of insight on the topic that we're going to talk about. So without further ado, I introduce to y'all my first cousin. Introduce yourself to them. Why I'm saying who you are.
Peace, family. I go by the name of Brother Tad. Some may know me as Coach Tad, but no doubt we up in here. What's the word, dog?
So let them know the show that you do, the name of the podcast and the premise of it.
All right. First off, I actually do two shows.
Right.
One of them is called Thorough Black Talk. That's where we talk politics, culture, and just what's going on in the Black community. That's every Thursday with my sister Keisha, sister Marcia, my brother Blacksmith. That's every Thursday on YouTube, Thorough Black Talk. And I also do a show with my brother C Gutter, the real C Gutter of Junior Mafia. Shout out to my brother Gutter. It's called OG Wisdom Podcast, the OG Wisdom Podcast.
So if they look right in the description
Every
box,
Sunday at
yeah,
2:00. Say that again.
if they look right in the description box, it's at there. They can always, they could click right there and subscribe. Somebody said we look like brothers. Well, we're first cousin. Our mothers are sisters. So like,
Our
yeah,
mothers and sisters.
yeah,
Yes.
we raise more like brothers than cousins. So this topic right here, I brought you in because I hate that you're I like that you're a retired street veteran, but we talk the same thing about how all that street stuff, we done it to death and it's dumb. But you also have insight on how the hood be lining dudes up. And I have in the title, Nipsey Hussle, Tupac, Biggie, and Big L was all lined up by the hood. I want you to speak to that point and then we could go a little bit more in depth. Why do you think they was lined up by the hood?
Well, I could always trace it back to jealousy. You know, the crabs in the barrel mentality. Though we all know that crabs don't belong in the barrel, but anytime you take any living organism out of its natural environment, it's going to do whatever it has to do to survive, because I mean, the first rule of life is preservation. So a lot of times people may see you rising up out of the conditions and think you're going to leave them behind, and they have the fear of missing out. So if you can't have the success and the life that you want, you deem that nobody should. Now, I don't know none of these people except Biggie. And Biggie, I'm quite sure if you are a follower of Doggie, you know that Biggie was a childhood friend of ours,
Right.
who we grew up with and watched him hit the stardom. But we also heard the rumbles and mumbles in the hood too, as he was making it, people just naturally hating on him.
Right.
You know, so that's the only thing I can attribute it to. Being a former stick-up kid, that's why we did it.
Right.
If you got it, I'ma get it.
So before we go into the psyche of that, what made you get out of it?
Get tired of that shit.
Basically, right?
Get tired of that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, yo, real rap. I'm over 50 and life is good on this side. You know, I get to touch foreign lands, travel with beautiful women, touch tropical waters. Like, that's dope.
Right.
But like I said, I'm 50. So in the 90s, I'm in my 20s. I'm on the block, smoking weed, drinking 40s when I'm thirsty. That's not healthy. That's
Right.
not healthy, and it's not good for my development. And I was a father early, a teenage father. So I had children that I had to raise, but I didn't want them to go through what I was going through, running from the police, constantly getting into bang outs with other dudes, going to funerals, being barred from certain neighborhoods, but going anyway, knowing you got to be ready to lay something down or be prepared to get laid down just because you're in violation, you behind enemy lines. So that's really no way to live, because I look at other people who didn't have to think about that stuff, who, when you tell other people who's not in that life how your life, your day-to-day activities go, they look at you like you crazy. Like, what kind of foolishness? You can't go here, you can't go there. You need that weapon everywhere you go. And as you get older, you start to realize some of the things you hold on to is from a juvenile mentality, and you got to outgrow certain shit. So that was some of the things among many that made me change my mind.
So without, we're not glorifying nothing, but what did the streets take from you? Tell them some of the shit you've been through being out there. What did the streets take from? Because the streets ain't give us nothing. It only took from us. What did it take from you?
It took our childhood friends while we were children. Rest in peace, Juicy. Rest in peace, Yaya. Yep. Rest in peace, Have. There's so many more that I can say.
Tank.
It took our childhood friends while we were still children.
Right.
It almost took 25 years from me.
Right.
Almost took me away from my children. Almost took my life on more occasions than I care to remember. You know, in fact, and real quick though, let your folks know, one time I had to apologize to you.
Right.
Because I put you in the middle of a situation. I had the thing on me, saw the ops, let it go without even putting you on.
And what I was going there to do.
Been the case.
What I was going there to do.
I'm sorry?
What was I going there to
going
do?
to kick ass.
We was going
You
to
asked me
fight.
where was I going?
I'm like, yo, where you
I
going?
said, I'm going these dudes up.
Yeah, yeah.
You said I'm coming with you.
Right. He going by himself somewhere. Like I said, we first cousins. So if he fight, I fight. Even if he winning, even if I'm winning, we just jumping you. That's just what it is,
Yeah.
right?
But my bad is I didn't tell you
So
that I had
so
I had the
last year,
full food
this
supply with
year, he apologized to me. He's like, yo, and thinking about it, yo, I apologize to you because one day he was going somewhere. It's Sunday morning. Sunday morning. He coming outside, he got on jean shorts and the shirt. I'm like, where you going? I'm going over here, such and such, such and such. I'm like, well, I'm going. I'm like, how many of them? He like, it's 8. I said, damn, the odds don't really look too good, but we fighters. We on his way. Let's just say he didn't plan on fighting. I'm like, yo, which one is it? He like, that one. I was like, yo, he said, nah, chill. So chain of events happen, but in youth, not knowing any better, being irrational, emotional, and young, what happened. And it could have changed our life forever, just being spurred a moment. But being accountable later on in life, this like 2 months ago, he was like, yo, that was my bad for something that happened 20 years ago. Literally.
Because you know why, dog? I always think every day I wake up, right? I still got my limbs. I'm not in the wheelchair. Shout out to my dude, Nut.
Yes.
You know, I'm not in the wheelchair. I'm not crazy. I'm not incarcerated. Life is actually good for me right now.
Right.
But I think about what it used to be and how many people didn't make it this far to enjoy the fruits of the labor. Because this laborious work in them streets, man. When you're putting in work, you are literally putting in work. One thing I tell people, if you got an issue and you call me, I'm not coming to argue with nobody.
Right.
So just know,
right.
when I'm done, police is getting involved. I don't care about nobody's team. We take them on. But when I'm done, the police is coming.
You felt the bullet. You felt the bullets.
Felt the bullets.
You felt the knives. I felt the knives. I felt the head bust. And being because what I want the audience to know is that it came a point to where we was almost too good for that shit now. Like, yo, we blessed. Yeah, we blessed though. Like, because my talent drove the team. My vision drove the team. You know, like how I went. Somebody said jumping is mad corny. I hate that we might have to jump you one day. Because again, even if they're winning.
But see, here it is, right? Here it is. And I'm glad somebody said that. You can't beat everybody.
Right.
But you're going to get hands put on you.
Right.
Now, me and you together, you getting your ass beat. You want me to stand there and watch you? You want me to help you? Talk to me.
Yeah, street guys.
Not talking reality. And it's easy to say that. But if you haven't lived those situations, you really don't know what you're talking about. So this is the point where you just sit back and learn.
Right.
Because I see people say stupid shit every day who haven't been in those situations.
Right.
If I'm getting my ass whooped,
yeah,
and my man is sitting there watching me getting pounded up, I'm fucking him up when I get up.
Word.
You ain't do nothing when Debo choked me in Smoke backyard.
Word. Help me. Help me.
Word.
And you watch me all the time. Get threatened and people say what they gonna do to me. You laugh. I laugh because come on, man. Like it's kind of comical. And like I tell the audience, if they think I'm a square or whatever and I'm smart, then I did a great job of rebranding myself of not being what we were. Because we really was part of messing our neighborhood up, like really bad. Part of the problem. And from being in a situation of being a part of the problem, I want to take them forward of how we became a part of the solution. So tell them about the children organization that you created, founded, and run.
Well, it's an organization called Party, Parents Actively Reclaiming Their Youth. And it's just a bunch of concerned parents who we decided that we're going to teach the children all that we know now, and we wish we would have learned back when we were teenagers. So we did financial literacy. We definitely do cultural tours. We take them to see lectures. So much.
Trips,
amusement park.
Yeah, trips.
Museum.
Blacks and Wax Museum.
Museum that deals with Black culture, we've been there.
Right.
The Great Blacks and Wax Museum, Smithsonian African American Museum of Culture, the Schomburg Cultural Research Center in Harlem. right next door to where Dr. Clark first started learning from his teacher, Arturo Schomburg. But that's a whole nother subject. Frederick Douglass House, Lewis Latimer House, um,
Harriet Tubman.
African American Civil War Museum.
Harriet
Like
Tubman.
these are places a lot of adults need to know.
Right.
You know, say it again, Doc.
Harriet Tubman House.
Harriet Tubman, Harriet Tubman's house, Auburn, New York.
Right.
So many places. But here's how I organized it. I would take a book from my library because I do have an extensive library.
Yeah.
We read a chapter, teach them how to read properly and public speaking skills. I have them each read a paragraph amongst the peer group. That way they get comfortable with public speaking. But they're also learning the knowledge because not only do we read the book, after we read the book, we plan the trip to go to the museum or the site where whatever information is in the book happened. We go in there just to do further research. So we call it in-house study and field research. And not only that, we also take them to meet the writers and authors of a lot of books. That way they can ask questions. So they met Dr. Umar before he went, before he got the Dr. Umar he is now. They know a Professor Anthony Browder, Dr. Leonard Jeffries. They got to really sit and talk with these people. Ilyasa Shabazz, which is Malcolm X's daughter. They actually got to sit and talk to these people and ask them questions. So many people they've met.
What was the age range of the children again for the people that need to know?
0 to 100.
Right. Yeah, because be grown ass kids. Grown ass kids need to come.
Word.
Yeah.
Because I always told the children a lot of what you're going to learn here, most adults don't know.
Right.
And instead of making them put their phones away, I would tell them to bring their phones out. Google this. Look at that. And it was information they never heard. But our children are walking around with computers in their pockets, but they're not being taught how to utilize them to their benefits. I mean, a lot of them are learning now because they're getting rich off the internet. But this is about 12 years ago when we first started, before social media was really big as it is right now.
And every Friday, but remember, every Friday, instead of us partying, drinking, smoking, we had the children. Every Friday in the community center. And it started out, what people don't understand, reason why it's called Parents Actively Reclaiming the Youth, because it started for the parents. It was a parenting group, but the parents didn't want to come. So it was like, all right, give us your children. You don't got to come, give us the children. We'll parent them every Friday, take them on trips and stuff like that. We brought Papoose through one time to talk to the kids, and that was every Friday for a long time before the Rona hit, and it it kind of slowed stuff down. But it's about to start back up. So again, we might need, and this isn't government funded either. It wasn't government funded.
That was a question people always ask me. How did I pay for all the buses and things like that? But what I explained to them is that anytime you do something in a group, you're always going to get a discount. So we always pass the discounts on to the parents and the families. But there was also people who knew my story, knew me from the streets, and saw the 180 I was making. So they would always donate. I would have tons of people give me money, say, here, I want to sponsor a child to go on a trip. And if there's a single mother, or even if it's a family, and you got multiple children, like, yo, don't worry, 2 of the children are paid for.
Right.
1 of your children are paid for. Don't worry about it. And that's how we did it. We didn't make any money. Most we do is make like $5 a seat. So you're talking about a couple of grand for the bus, not even to mention the entrance fee to get into these places.
Right.
And nobody can ever say they ever paid more than $100.
Didn't you take them to see Django too?
I'm sorry?
You took them to see Django too, right?
Django, not Django. Black Panther. But we took them to a lot of movies, but we didn't go see Django.
Oh, okay.
Django we didn't see. We went to see Selma.
Black Panther. It was Black Panther. It was Black Panther. Yeah.
Well, Black Panther, we rented the movie theater out.
Right.
We rented the movie theater out, and we took them to see Black Panther, Selma, Hidden Colors, right? Because they got to talk to Kaba Kamene, who was one of the people featured in Hidden Colors. Shout out to him. So many things I can't even remember. I just got pictures of all this stuff because a lot of times the young people remind me of what we've done because we've done so much. And again, we don't do this for kudos and accolades. We do this out of necessity because we understand what it is to be a teenager in Brooklyn with nothing to do.
Right.
And especially nobody's giving you this information for life skills. All they want you to do is be another athlete or entertainer
Right.
or a SEX worker. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? They
Yep.
want you to be an S worker. So
Right.
that's the thing now. That's why OnlyFans is popping. It
And,
wasn't
and
a thing back then.
and I wanted to tell people too, because at one point we had nothing to do but be mischievous. And we would actually sit in the house and say, yo, let's go fuck somebody up. And it was just stupid
Stupid as
shit.
it sounds.
Yeah, stupid as
That
it
was our
sounds.
reality.
And there was no rhyme or reason. It was just boredom, something to do, and yo, you look like somebody that should just get beat up for no ass reason. You know,
To play the knockout game.
yeah, play the knockout game is old, robbery game is old. It was so much, and then it was so much that you were there for that I wasn't there for, and vice versa. And then when I started getting into this entertainment thing, that kind of took me away from that. But it also was giving y'all something to say, yo, he doing this, we got a chance to get away from this. So we didn't go to the studio to be idiots. We went in the studio to get out of the street. So you see the role reversed, how they're in the studio, they're millionaires, and they want to be in the street. We did that to get out the street.
That's hustling backwards.
Right. So
That's hustling backwards. Go
so
ahead.
so the hood. We see the speculation with Nipsey, Tupac. The funniest story. I'm gonna tell you a story what Tad told me, and I'm gonna have him tell a story. You told me in about 1994 that Tupac and Biggie was gonna have beef before they had beef. Why did you say Tupac and Biggie was gonna have beef?
I don't know if you remember when Big got on,
Mm-hmm.
Big brought everybody to the hood.
Right.
Big was a lovable dude. That's why so many people in the industry loved him. For people who don't know, he was a good-hearted dude. Contrary to what people may think about Big, he had a huge heart and he really cared about people. If he rocked with you, he rocked with you. He brought Tupac to the hood.
Mm-hmm.
This is like you said, 94, like 93, 94. He brings Tupac to the hood. Everybody clamoring, yo, Pac down the block with Big. Pac. I said, yo, they gonna have beef.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody like, nah, you bugging. That's his man. That's his man. Doggy, this is why I said it. I said, something's gonna happen to Tupac and Biggie ain't gonna be able to help him.
Facts.
I was still deep in the streets.
Right.
I ran with elite dudes in the streets and I kept my name out the streets. I didn't want to be one of them people that was known for being the toughest. If you knew me, if you went to school with me, or if you ran the streets, you knew. But for me trying to make a name around New York City, I always thought that was the dumbest thing. Because when they find out who you are, they're ready to take you out and you got invisible enemies. That's why so many legends are no longer here.
Mm-hmm.
Because they were too visible, they were too public. My statute of limitations is up, and I'm talking about for beef, anything. Dudes I've had beef with, they either gone or they too old.
Right.
They just washed up. We grown men now. And I still work out, still go to the range. I'm still with it like diarrhea.
Yeah.
If anybody ever comes to me about anything that happened in anything,
Right.
whether it's 1990 or 2000, it's too old, family. Leave it alone. You don't want to open this can of worms. But I say that to say, I ran with elite dudes. Tupac already did juice. He already got music on the radio. You talking about a bunch of starving wolves in Brooklyn, in Bed-Stuy, and he's in the lion's den. They see him as a meal ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And Big, again, was a good dude, one of the dopest rappers. And he knew some hitters too. But again, there's ninjas outside.
Mm-hmm.
There's dudes not going to let you know they're going to get you. There's dudes who wish they never ran up on me with my slacks and shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise.
Yeah. Right. Right.
You know, but that's why I knew that was going to happen. And the craziest part, because it's all out right now, those dudes that ran down on Pac at Quad Studios, all of them was from the hood.
Right.
Shout out to Desta Isaacs.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And rest in peace to his son, Nico.
That little homie. Yep.
You know, it's just, you see this story generation after generation in the hood. And if you don't think that you can have a paradigm shift and change the ending of this story, you're out of your mind.
Right.
All the paradigm shift is a change in your reality. When you're entrenched in the streets, when you're institutionalized by jail, that becomes your reality. But when you decide that you don't want to be that no more. When you make that decision to do and be different, the change is going to come, and you actually change the outcome of who you're going to be, or probably even how you lose this planet. And I don't mean it's definitive that it's going to change the outcome of when you go, but we never know. But you're more than likely to have a little more longevity and quality of life as you make better decisions. You know, you eat better, you start going to sleep, you stop hanging out with criminals.
Right.
Because the fact of the matter, everybody you with is shiesty, they grimy. You in the streets.
Right.
Everybody's criminals, and there's no honor amongst thieves.
Right.
Only ones you can really trust is your family, and even they're gonna snake you.
Right.
But you can't bust their head the way you want to, because grandma gonna come out and bust you upside the head.
Right.
Why you do your cousin like that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, she don't want to hear about no drug dealing going wrong, or he owe me 5 bands.
Remember,
You know?
your mother said to us, rest in peace, your mother was like, y'all out there getting that fast money? It's like, yup, all right. When you get in trouble, don't call me.
She said it's only one way to dissolve disputes in the streets.
Mm-hmm.
I'll never forget. She said street business is not like corporate business. Corporate business, you could take your partner to court, sue them. In the streets, you can only handle it one way.
Mm.
So just make sure you're ready for that.
Mm.
And that was real advice.
Yeah.
Because she was talking to a 20-year-old when she said it. I was probably like 19 to 20 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Though you was way younger than that.
Yeah, yeah. Remember when I said to you one time, I said, you said, I ain't no jail nigga, what I told you.
You better become one.
Word.
You go to jail, you better become one.
Because all the shit we was into, we had to be prepared for stupid shit. And I want to take people back because I want them to understand, and then we're going to talk about the above people in the topic, but I want them to understand that our life was no different from theirs. We were impoverished. We were so impoverished, we didn't know we was impoverished because this is all we thought it was. You know what I'm saying? Like
we was broke and our friends was broke.
Yeah, everybody was broke.
So any scheme to get money, we with it.
Right. But I'm talking about even when we were so young that I got your clothes. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the youngest. At one point, I was shorter than you, smaller than you, so I got your clothes. But you got your clothes from my older brother.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So we wore hand-me-downs. Yeah, rest in peace to my brother. We was so grandma always walked us past McDonald's. We never got McDonald's.
Never take us to McDonald's.
Never got McDonald's. We was going to the store with notes, borrowing sugar, no school clothes. Some years we ain't get no Christmas. So the sob story that we hear and the reason that people say why they are, we faced all that too. But it came a point that we overcame that, but it started mentally. And then it became physical to where we didn't want to hang out no more. We didn't want to be outside. We didn't want to drink beer no more. You drank beer, smoked weed. I never smoked before, but you drank beer, smoked weed.
I never thought I'd stop smoking.
Right.
I never thought I'd stop smoking weed. I thought I'd be one of them old men still rolling up joints.
Yeah.
I done quit over 20 years ago.
And tell them about your weight as well, too. Because remember, we both did the same thing. We didn't even do it together, but tell them how your heaviest weight.
Oh, nah, my heaviest was like 280. And I'm 5'7".
Yeah, right.
280. My pants was size 44.
Right.
Now I'm back down to 34.
Right.
But I was a size 44. Thighs rubbing together, getting holes in the jeans. And yo, I swear, dog, I was blaming it on European designers. Like, why these pants so skinny?
Right.
These skinny ass pants. Nah, my ass was getting big.
Right.
Just coming to lotto, But again, you have to make the decision that you want better for yourself. Because ain't nothing funny when you walking up a flight of stairs out the train station, you just out of breath, and little kids and old people passing, and you huffing and puffing.
Right. So let me ask you something. What about the dudes who don't? Because we always had each other, and we still we held each other accountable a lot too. Because that's the one thing that people don't understand. We do call each other and tell dudes, "You fucking up." And you know what Mel used to say. What Mel used to say?
Nah, you got it fucked up.
That's my older brother. Yo, he would call any of us. Yo, you got it fucked up. Yo,
Yo, he start the conversation like that.
word, yo,
Now
Mel was
I'm mad
good.
because you be getting it fucked up.
Yo,
Like, yo, what are you talking about?
word. First thing my older
he
brother
go into
said.
it.
Yep. Because my older, like I said, we grew up like siblings. So my older brother was his older brother. So although he was biologically my brother, he was your brother before he was my brother. You know what I'm saying? And my brother would call and be like, yo, you be getting it fucked up. And it's like, yo, what I do? Because you'd be like, yo, what did I do? He'd be like, nah, because yo, you was out there and I saw you. That was you that bust the gun outside and stuff like that. But we would hold each other accountable. Shout out to Vincent Nichols in the building. Nichols from
Yeah.
the Kitchen Clothes podcast. That's one of our childhood friends as well. You know what I'm saying? He know it from around the way. You know what I'm saying? Tell them also. Let's tell the audience how you was the gang leader. You was the leader of the gang, and damn, that was a lot of power to have at that age because we had the verbiage to say, yo, let's do this. And everybody would just do it for no reason. Tell them what that was like to have that power.
Shout out to Junior Mafia, my dude Banger, Caesar Leo, Blake, all of them.
Yes.
But they was part of the crew. That's why if you look at early Biggie pictures, he rocked the Raiders hoodie. But it started me, you, our homegirl Yana, and God bless our man La. You know, we used to call him Lala.
Yep.
And we was in the crib one day, and it all became because the ops came through with white hats.
Yeah.
You remember that, dog?
Yeah, the Decepticons.
We had white hats. So yo, we gonna get black hats. Fuck that. We just gonna be the Raiders. We gonna run through, and we gonna terrorize shit. But the thing about me was, and dog, I don't know if you can remember, but the year prior to that, I was in South Carolina. Stayed in South Carolina, went to James Allen High for a hot minute. And there was a big gang called the Decepticons in New York. This is like 1987. When I came back, everybody was Decepticons. All my cousins, my brother, all my homeboys. So it was only right that I joined. But when I joined, our little set, like other sets around would always come get us for beef.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, why we keep going to get them for beef? Why they keep coming to get us when they got beef and we never go get them?
Right.
And we split it off and did our own thing. But the way I was in leadership, for those who may not know, is because, again, our crew was my family and everybody already knew who I was. Like, my family know I like to fight. I don't mind fighting.
Yeah, right.
Ain't nothing wrong with a good
He couldn't even go to the store and get he couldn't even go to the store and get a soda. His mother be like, I can't even send you to the store for bread. You already had a fight.
About to say, that's the only one who could beat me. Her and my pops.
Word.
Only ones, everybody else, I'm swinging on you.
Yep.
I'm swinging. But that's the kid I was. I was an angry kid. Didn't know how to articulate myself. So I get so frustrated. I get angry and I just want to fight. Some people may be going through that with their sons right now.
That's why we having this discussion. This is more of a learning, teachable moment for them, you know.
Yeah, that's why I told homie to fall back. This class is in session right now. You're getting a master class right now.
Right.
Because sometimes the children are misunderstood and they don't understand these emotions they get because part of you feels sad and part of you feel angry because you really want peace, but you don't know how to achieve that because your environment is telling you everything you want, you got to take. I don't know what it is to be a kid right now, but I know when I was coming up, it was all about manhood, being a man, being assertive, standing on your ground, and being honest and truthful about who you are. But if you don't know who you are yet, and you can't tell people what it is that's bothering you, because all you think of is happy and sad. You really don't know emotions. You really don't know melancholy. You don't know being confused. Like, I was about to say grammar word, confusement.
Yeah.
If you don't know what it is to be confused, you don't know how to articulate yourself, so it gets frustrating. And the only thing you know how to do is lash out. It's like when a baby's hungry or a baby's wet. A baby just cries.
Right.
Because they don't know how to communicate with you.
Right.
They just go wad. And until you meet that need, they're going to keep being frustrated and frustrating you with all the noise and acting out. So my family knew I was that kid. I had a hairpin trigger. Just don't play with them. But that's because I didn't know how to express myself.
Even when we was little, right? So He used to bully us, right? So he wasn't the oldest, but he was
I'm about to say I ain't never bully you.
yeah, he was the third oldest, right? So you had my brother, my cousin Mushy, Gregory, with the same name as me. Rest in peace to him as well. And that's why I was telling people about mental health last night, because we do have a first cousin that committed suicide. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I like to talk about that a lot because that's near and dear to us and our family, especially because we grew up, like I said, we all grew up as brothers. So this dude will, first of all, him and his brother, forget about it. His brother always fuck with him. His brother, he would beat his brother up every day, and he'd just fuck with him again. So we got another cousin named Poe. That's the rapper that y'all hear sometimes. And Poe will be telling his brother something, and Tad will come and say, yo, don't be telling Morley that. And he like, yo, this is my brother. So then what he'll do, he yell, Grandma, you better come get him before I hurt him. So he would warn my grandmother that he was going to beat one of us up if she didn't come tell us what to do. So it was just mad funny. So if I call Poe right now, he'll bust out laughing. But we were all raised very, very, very temperamental. Very temperamental, very, very.
He always got boxing gloves.
But extremely, but I don't understand, people don't understand that we were raised extremely violent.
Yeah.
That was the most because we had, it was our universal language that if you bothered one of us, you were getting your ass. Well, we had women that could beat the girls up, and we had us, and then when them guns hit our palm, game over. Because not only was we punching you, but now we ain't gotta flip them. Well, we could just, do this, and there wasn't no across the street. But what I want people to understand is that it came a point where we understood what the hood was about. We started understanding the dynamics because we started seeing friends line each other and backdoor each other. So we saw it. So this is what happened to Nipsey, what happened to Tupac, what happened to Biggie, and what happened to Big L, Stack Bundles, Chinks, you name it. We saw that firsthand, and we both made a concerted effort to say, this shit ain't for us. This ain't how my story gonna end. Besides having the children, when did you realize, nah, this ain't what I'm trying to do no more? When did Brother Tad come into existence? Because before, I'm gonna be real with y'all, his street name was Killer Tad. I don't know if y'all know that. People in the street call him Killer. For whatever reason. I don't know. He killed mosquitoes and shit. But his name was Killer Tad. When did Brother Tad emerge from Killer Tad?
1993, July 27th. About 9:30, 10 o'clock that night.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we lost our brother Juicy.
Right.
And Juicy was a frontline brother. We was always by each other's side.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, a situation unfolded. One thing led to another. Them pipes got involved, and our brother got left there.
Right.
And I think at that time, you think about it, for us, at 20 years old, 21, that was old to us, based on when our career started in the streets.
Right.
Started young.
Right.
You know what I mean? 14, 15 years old. We was literally outside off the porch, And so by the time we was aging to our 20s, we wanted to be done with it because we already done everything.
Mm-hmm.
We already done got the money, the girls, the whips. Granted, they wasn't fancy yet. We did everything that a street dude could want. We did.
Mm-hmm.
You think I had my first apartment at 19?
Right.
So we had the honeycomb, we had the crib to chill, do whatever we want to do.
Crack spots, weed spots, we had all that.
Yeah, everything. So at that point, that was the real pivotal moment that I made the decision. But even then, it was still a process because I got jammed up at 28 years old, looking at 25 years to life.
Right.
I figured, real rap, that was the universe giving me my last test. Like, how committed are you to change your life, Tad?
Mm-hmm.
How committed are you? Because there was more bang outs, like, because you think at that time, by the time we was 20, dudes already clapped the crib up when we was 17. Dukes already clapped me when I was 17. Like the weapons was already in play at 15, 16.
Right.
We already going back and forth, and I got clicked at 17. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And then they tried to finish the job later that year. And it was the back and forth thing as teenagers. Now we look at it as children, but back then we thought we was grown men
Couldn't
because
tell
we
us nothing.
care of ourselves. We was 17, 18, 16, getting our own money, buying our own sneakers. Because remember, again, like you said, we was poor. So we couldn't ask them for no $100 sneakers. We had to get it ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So everything we wanted, we went and got ourselves as teenagers, so nobody could tell us nothing. You
Right.
know, but that was the pivotal point in 1993, and that still was a process because it didn't happen overnight. Because I still got beef in the streets. I still got to answer to the things that I've done in the streets, like loose ends. Like, you can't be banging at somebody one day and then be like, chill, chill, I ain't with it no more. Like, nah, y'all don't. Nah, it
Could
don't
we
work like.
explain? Could we explain to the people as well, like how we grew up? It was up every day. It wasn't no
Yeah,
day
every day,
off.
every
It
day,
was
every
no
day was an
day
adventure.
off. No
Every day
day
was an
off.
adventure.
Yeah.
And you know what's crazy? Because people don't understand that, and that's part of the reasons why we wasn't invited a lot of places too,
They still don't
because they
invite
was
me.
that we wouldn't know how to behave.
They still
You know
don't
what I'm
invite me based off past reputation because they think that I'm gonna go places and not know how to act, even though I ain't act that ass in how long. But it's
saying? Now
people.
we saw Benzino in Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Benzino was telling
yeah,
everybody like, "Yo, y'all don't know, Doggie is a badass. Doggie
yeah.
was a little bad."
And I was
So I
15.
had to put him on my tour bus.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I
Um,
remember them days
yeah.
because even when he came to New York, we was the young boys.
Yep. That when he
Everybody always talking about they gonna call they young boys, they gonna call they wild young boys. We was probably the first generation wild young boys.
because even
You
when
know?
when Benzino came to New York, remember he called me. We gripped up and we gotta go to hold Benzino down.
Yeah,
And I think I was 15 at the time. You was like what, 17, 18?
probably like 18,
Yeah.
19.
So yeah. So we was, and the only reason why I'm saying is not to glorify nothing. I just want people to understand that
The authenticity of where it
yeah,
all
you
comes from.
could get
We're
away
not
from
talking about people who haven't lived that life.
right, right.
We are really from that life. And shout out to my OG Keon who just hit me up
Yes,
Sunday.
sir.
Keon from the
Bone,
Purple
T-Bone.
Tape.
Yep, yep.
You know, I always tell people the dudes I ran with, they make rap songs about.
Right,
You ever listen to the Purple Tape? You hear Spot Rushes. They talk about Keon. That's my OG.
right. Definitely my
That's
OG.
my OG. That's who. And he always called me and tell me how proud he is of me because my life could have went a whole nother direction. Because we only talked about my youth group. We didn't talk about the school I sponsored in Africa, how many times I've been to Africa, doing school drives, school supply drives in Africa, as well as here in New York. Other organizations I've been a part of, moving the community and the culture forward. And I'm not talking about the hip hop culture, I'm talking about the black culture,
Right.
moving us forward, showing people that people can do a 180 if they're given the proper guidance and resources. And I always tell my OGs, I do it for them.
Right.
Y'all see, I'm a partner with C Gutter in the OG Wisdom podcast.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know, C Gutter was Biggie and Lil Kim hitter,
Right.
who did his bedtime for holding it down. Authentic Brooklyn dude. Shout out to our OG Cook.
Yes. Facts.
Runs with Jada right now.
Yep. Yep.
This is not nothing to glorify. We just giving you context because what's crazy, and let me just get this mic real quick, dog.
Go ahead.
When I watch what they call the dirty streets of YouTube and everybody claiming to be an authentic street dude, I'm like, at what part of the game do we get on camera and talk about what we're gonna do to somebody? One thing I've learned from the streets: if you're gonna do it, you're not gonna talk about it. And if you
Somebody said,
it,
"Peace, Keon. Let's get our rhyme on." Absolutely, the same person.
That's
Yep.
exactly what we talking
That's
about.
exactly what we talking about. Yep.
But the point I'm making is like, if you talking about it, you ain't gonna do it.
Right.
And if you're gonna do it, you're not gonna talk about it.
Right.
So when you see dudes get up here and they threaten each other in SMDs, I'm talking about dudes in my age group. I'm not talking about these little dudes. I'm talking about dudes in my age group who keep talking about they from the streets and talking about how much time they did up north. Nobody cares because there's a bunch of clowns in jail. Anybody ever been locked up? They tell you it's a fucking circus.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fucking circus. You got some authentic dudes. Free our brother Turf Diamonds.
Yes, sir.
You got authentic dudes in there. But you also got clowns, just like in the street. Every dude ain't an elite dude in the streets. Crackheads is in the streets.
Right.
So what you telling me? You
And
from the street?
crackheads is in jail running shit too.
That's a fact.
Right.
So I say all that to say that we got to do a better job on what it is we say we represent. Because if we're going to represent the streets, let's represent it properly. Because the one thing I remember about the streets, the goal was to get out of it,
Right.
not to get in it. You're born in it.
Right.
Your mom's a teenager, or she may be on drugs. One of your parents is on drugs. So you in an impoverished house. Your uncle's coming through, stealing the Christmas gifts around the holidays, selling your brand new game that he done snuck from under the tree and crept out. Like this stuff has happened in our family.
Facts.
And it's happened in other families. Come on. So you born in that element. You want to stay there? You 35, 40, 50 years old, still glorifying the streets? Come on. Even when people call Bun B a snitch for going to court, holding his wife down, I'm going to be 100 with you. I can't jack that. Bun B is not a snitch. Bun B is now a businessman. He's not a street dude. He don't get his money in the street. He's not hanging in the street. Because I promise you, when I touch my M's, I'm not out there with y'all. I'm not out there with y'all now.
Right.
And I'm
Right.
1,000 it.
Right.
And I'm not outside with y'all. Why? Because y'all not going to destroy me. Y'all done it to everybody who left and tried to come back and help. And how do y'all show them your gratitude? With a bullet.
So
I'm not going to be nobody's fool.
So
this is why people don't come back. I read The Miseducation of the Negro by Carter G.
Woodson.
And he has a chapter called The Educated Negro Leaves the Masses. And he talk about the importance of the educated helping those they left behind. But Carter G. Woodson wasn't in this time.
Right.
Where dudes want to hold you back. Where even when you come back to the hood and try to create opportunities, dudes are not happy. They think you owe them everything. And I'm going to tell y'all, the audience, look within your circle. Look how many dudes is talking about when they man get on, how they going to be lit. Why are you banking on somebody else's life? What are you going to do with your life? Because what if your man do get clipped? Then your life is over too. Have a plan for yourself, man. Stop banking on other people's success. Learn how to be a help. So even if that person fall, they could lean on you and you could lift them up. But now everybody want to be leeches. And I don't like that shit.
So going into, that was a good segue into when we're hearing some of the rumors and grumbles about who could have, what could have happened to Nipsey. Do it surprise you?
No.
Elaborate.
Because everybody's with the woulda, coulda, shoulda. Everybody, Nipsey did what was in his heart. And this is how the universe works. Sometimes we don't understand it. Some people just call it God's plan. We don't understand it. But he left with a legacy. What are they going to say about you when you go?
Right.
All the tough dudes.
Right.
All the dudes who still really want to be in the streets, still got something to prove to somebody. Come on, man. It's space for success for everybody. You don't have to look at another dude's success and be jealous. In fact, though, that reminds me when we used to be on the block and the dude would get a come up and he come through with his new Lexa Benz and he ride past the block, bumping his music, honk the horn, chuck a deuce. And first thing, that nigga fronting.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, chilling. I'm happy for him.
Right.
Nah, fuck that nigga. Somebody need to get that nigga.
Yeah.
Like, what? And I always tell people, I'm happy for him.
Right.
Because when my turn comes, because everybody gets a chance. Everybody gets a chance in the sunshine. It just depends on what you're going to do with it. If you're going to throw up shade, you're going to throw up an umbrella, you're going to bask in the sunshine for as long as you can. Because everything is temporary, good things and bad things. But I've never been one to see a brother come up and start hating on him. That's just not me. I congratulate him because if anything, it's inspiring to show me that, yo, if this brother could do it, I could do it too. But again, that's your perspective. How do you see things? How you see things is based on how you see yourself. How you see the world is a reflection of you.
Right.
And if you always hating on somebody, you always jealous, you think somebody's soft, that's because you're the coward.
Right.
You're the coward. You scared to be what that man is. Like everybody called Kanye soft. I remember when him and 50 was playing, having that little fake beef about who's going to sell more records. You know, everybody knew 50 wasn't really going at Ye. And everybody know Ye ain't that type of dude. But Ye was not afraid to be himself. So many people are scared to be themselves.
Yep.
They don't know who they are. Everybody's a clone.
Right.
Do what you want to do with your life, man. Because at the end of the day, you got to sleep with that. Whatever it is you do. You know what I'm saying? If it help you sleep at night, rock out. but don't live for other people. And that's what everybody's doing. There's too many clones. Even when you look at the political climate right now, people are pretty much bullying you, telling you who to vote for.
Right. Somebody in the
Pretty
chat
much
said Jack
bullying you.
boys know who not to F with. I don't agree with that. Jack boys,
No.
everybody could get it.
Nah.
But with that mentality, fam, you must not know no Jack boys. Because the Jack boys I know, anybody could get it. If you got it, they taking it.
Let me tell you something. Like I said, Keon called me Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Salute to my brother, to the OG Jack boy. He's still out. He's still alive. Still
Right.
cool. And he be giving me wisdom and jewels.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody's above getting it. And that's the part y'all missing.
Right.
Every rapper had their entourage with them, around them, had their security. Everybody thought they were safe, my G.
Mm-hmm.
Jack boys knew who to do. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's
Julio.
yeah.
Julio. Rest in peace to him. I mean, and I get it. People don't like whoever they don't like, but everybody is loved by somebody, no matter how foul they may have been in life. Because I just pray real rap that when it's my turn to go, that I'm invited in on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Whether there's a heaven or hell, I know what I've done, and I just hope that I could get in.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't want to be stuck out like, nah, you ain't no good here, my G.
Word. Could we I want to give them the story of Biggie getting lined in the hood at the height when he was on the cusp of the fame, a older guy in the neighborhood, and this is not public record, it's not even spoken about, but as Biggie was coming up, he didn't really come to our block because it was just too wild, even though he knew everybody that was
He survived a couple of bangouts on the block.
right. Yeah, he used to come to my
He literally witnessed, like,
yeah.
rest in peace to Big, but
Yeah.
he knew what it was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So
and again, we're not glorifying it. It's y'all only see, some of y'all. A lot of people only see it on YouTube.
right.
We literally lived it when there were no YouTube and no cameras around, no security cameras on the corner store.
Yeah.
You just was dead.
Pre-beepers, Albee Square Mall, Brooklyn. So Biggie, Big one time Biggie came to the hood. Not came to the hood. He lived in the hood still, but he came outside. And rest in peace, Chico. Very, very important component in the life of Biggie. But Biggie had a coat and a chain, and a particular individual felt like he shouldn't have it. But the particular individual was older than him, older than all of us, and he took it from him right outside in front of everybody. And everybody was like, chill. He's about to get on. He's working on some stuff. He just got to deal with Uptown. He's going to be able to help us. And this particular individual was like, I don't give a fuck what he going to do. He got something I want, and I'm taking it. And it's seldom spoken about, but it happened. The whole hood know it. And it was foul because this is myself, Biggie, Little Kim, Inga, Tone from Trackmasters. It wasn't too many of us that was really putting on for the hood and was going to be something. But we seen the star in Fat Chris. This was Fat Chris, who later became Big, then became Biggie, then became Notorious B.I.G. Well, what I'm saying is, it was a particular time where the hood line was lining him to where he almost didn't make it to be the Notorious B.I.G. because he had a little, and we're not talking about a chain, we're talking about a little chain and a coat. And when he used to come to the hood, it was certain individuals that would call and say he's out here and would line him up for different. So it became detrimental to the neighborhood now because now he would ride past and do this and keep it moving. And I remember when he did that to me one day, I was mad because I'm like, yo, this nigga Big road past going head nod me. But then as I got older now, I was saying that's the best thing he could have did because for one, if he stopped on Waverly and Fulton, we was into too much shit. So don't stop here. You know what I'm saying? Plus he bear witness firsthand some serious violent crimes taking place. But the hood, although he was loved, he was hated by people in the hood too. Their mission was to take from him, and they already did. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying all that to say his own neighborhood that he repped to the death lined him as well. Lined him and is messed up. So even if we go to Pac was dealing with dudes from Brooklyn, dealing with dudes that we didn't know was from our neighborhood that wasn't affiliated with Biggie.
Yep.
That was in a higher street stature than Biggie. Got mixed up with the wrong dudes. They lined him. Big L. They lined him. Stack Bundles. They lined him right in Far Rockaway. So the point that we're making is that you could get out of these environments as you rise. As you rise, you have to get out of the environment. Because there's so many people that has a low level, low vibrating mentality, they don't want you to have anything. You could get a new shirt. I want your shirt. You could get a new pair of sneakers. I want it. And we're talking from the perspective of people who were doing that, but we were doing it in youth. Now, how you feel about this song? Because you know, Fame is my brother. MOP, that's my brothers. I knew them for a long time. Don't you listen to Annie Up different now?
Yeah.
I don't even like the record no more.
I still like the record because the nostalgia of it all.
Right.
That's it. Because I'm not there no more. I don't want what other people have. Because anything I get, I gotta work for and earn. You think when dudes was flipping cars, you know what I'm saying? Tagging them, switching the VIN numbers and all that. How long did that last?
Right.
But remember, everybody was getting a new whip. You know what I'm saying? Remember, dudes clipped Jay for his whip.
Right.
You know, we had a homeboy named Jay. He in the Dolly My Baby video with Biggie and Supercat.
Right.
But there was a point where he had got clapped 5 times. Big was there.
Right there.
You know, they tried to empty out on him. And while he was in his recovery, he bought a new truck and somebody came and jacked the truck. But of course, it was a tag VIN, it was flipped. So there's
he
so
got
much,
lined in the hood. That was a lineup.
That was a lineup. Somebody sold him a flip V, then turned around and tried to get it back from him. Whether it actually did.
Get it back. Because they ain't tried. They got that back.
Couldn't even do nothing.
Right.
He's still trying to heal. Hear me being the dude I was, I'm trying to fight dude until that thing came out.
Yep.
I had no choice but to run.
Right.
I had no choice but to run. Because it was a whole big scenario around that. Dude was in the corner. I thought he was pissing where the kids was playing. So I called him like, yo, my man, let me talk to you. He's like, yo, what up? He had a Dutch and a bag of weed in his hand. I said, oh, you rolling up? Pardon that. He's like, nah, what up? I said, I thought you was peeing in the corner, but I see you rolling up, ain't nothing. He said, all right, but if I was peeing, what? And that changed the trajectory of the conversation. Said, if you was peeing, I was going to tell you that's foul. You see kids over there playing. He said, yeah, no disrespect to the kids, but if I got to pee, I'm going to pee wherever I want. So I turned to my homegirl, Disha, took my rings. I said, yo, Disha, hold this. I said, yo, fam, I don't like how you talking to me. He backed up. I said, don't run. He said, I'm not. And just said, whoop. Right. So I ran. He turned to my man, Jay, and everybody said, get out the truck. Get out the truck.
That was his mission. Yep.
1994 runner. The year was 1991.
Yep.
But the truck was a Burgundy 1994 runner. He jumped in, took off. That was the last we saw of the truck.
Yep. And I remember I'm in the crib. I had the shotty and the Trey Deuce. I'm in the window like this, and they all running out. Give me that. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Right. They ran right back out the house.
I didn't like, because I told dudes, I said, yo, go get the things. And they was like, nah. Like, we gonna jump.
Yeah, ain't no jumping.
Ain't nobody get jumped that day.
Ain't no jumping.
Got chased off and jacked. It happens.
Yep.
So when homie said Jack Boy shoot, yo, anybody could get it. That's why we talking about these rappers. These rappers got clipped after they made it. So they already got money to hire goons. They could hire legal goons. They could hire off-duty officers. They got paper. They got the community. But when dudes gonna get you, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand.
So
nobody's above getting got.
I am a proponent of a person getting they ones and getting the fuck away from niggas. Reach back how you could. give back how you could, but going back is detrimental to your health. In the hood, we find ourselves not really walking through the main streets no more because the energy, I don't want to be around that shit. I don't, this dude been on the corner drinking for 17 years.
Keeping it real.
Keeping it real. And although we of the street, been in the street, mentally, we ain't there. Physically, we are. What's the thing of why do you think dudes are stuck?
It's hopelessness that they sold. It's their value system.
Mm.
It's the feeling of unfulfillment.
Mm-hmm.
Things that they wanted when the streets was popping, back when they was teenagers or in their 20s, things that we were told to value, to change, the whips. They haven't achieved it yet.
Mm.
And even when they did, it didn't last long because they might have got robbed for it, they might have went to jail. And that's their status symbol, to be respected, because they haven't tapped into themselves. They haven't found their God-given talent, because everybody is born on purpose with a purpose. They haven't found that purpose, so they looking for external validation. It's like you with the music. When you left the streets, everybody knew Dog was in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Dog in the crib. Dog doing beats.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he doing. Dog's with some type of electronic, technological shit. But you found your calling and you tapped
Not to
into
cut
that.
you. Remember when you called from jail? It was like, what you doing? I said, I'm in the crib with Maya. Remember you called?
Yeah, I'm like, yo, they got Maya in the crib.
Word.
You know
Like,
what I'm saying?
I'm like, he like, Maya? Fuck Maya doing in the crib. Yo, we just in here
Word.
listening to music.
But people don't understand that, like how Easy Mo B would drop in on you
Right,
and chill
right,
with you.
right.
So many people.
So many of
Big
them,
would
Easy
come to
Mo,
the
yeah.
crib.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Little Kim would come to the. Little Kim already said, first time she ever rapped was in your crib.
Mm-hmm.
We knew Fame before Fame was rapping. Met him with School. Shout out to School.
Shout out to School Lover, Johnny
that-
Famous. Mm-hmm.
Johnny Famous. Shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? Like we was out. Shout out to Tech. You know.
Reason
what
why I'm
saying?
asking you this, because I see dudes getting YouTube popularity, right?
Right. But hold on.
Go ahead, continue.
I just had to put that out there for the audience to know.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is you like, tap into that. Lean into that shit, man.
Mm-hmm.
That may be your saving grace for whatever you going through. It solve your money problems. You don't get it, man. That thing you like, lean into that shit, man. Lean into it, because a lot of people haven't found their calling. And since they haven't found their calling, they don't want nobody else to find their calling and survive and thrive. And that is why dudes are stuck.
Mm-hmm.
Because they haven't fulfilled their life's purpose yet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's never too late, though. It's
Right,
never too late.
Right.
Colonel Sanders and a few other people, Wally Amos, a famous Amos Cookies, all them people hit their numbers well after their 60s.
Mm.
But you got to be working on something.
Right.
Prince once said, it takes a lifetime to become an overnight success. What does he mean? Spend your life working on that thing you love, and it will pay off.
So
But go ahead, dog.
They also said it takes your whole life to do your first album and then 1 year to do your second. Because once you on. Now you can't be playing. You understand what I'm saying? But that one album, and that's why I tell the audience, yo, put that music out. If you know how to draw. And surround yourself by people who love you, not because they say it, they show it. How many times do I call you and say, yo, am I bugging? Because before,
All the time.
again, I am a person that the audience don't know. My word means something in a lot of places. And if I wanted to, a lot of niggas would get hurt. But I always say, chill. I always call you and say, yo, am I bugging right now? Am I overreacting? Because you're not going to say, yeah, get him. You're going to be like, yeah, that shit ain't about shit. This ain't nothing. And sometimes you be wanting to take it places and I'll be like, nah.
You be like, chill.
Yeah.
Because again, like I said, I don't think people understand. You saved a lot of lives. For every dude who threatened you,
Yep.
I get the call.
Yep.
Because of what up, man? Yo, what's up with these dudes? It's like, nah, Doggie said stand down.
Yep.
He's like, tell him I saw that. Tell him I'm watching. I don't like that shit. Bum, 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 bum. But, and that was the same way Big was.
Get the call from jail. Get the call from jails. The jails start calling us.
And look, shout out to Wack. What
Right.
Wack said, he made a call to New York, said, I can't touch Doggy.
Right.
You need permission. And again, this is not glorification of none of that, because we salute it, we love it, we from it. It's the warrior class. But there needs to be a paradigm shift, because I'm not telling you I'm on no Dr. King nonviolence shit. I'm not Gandhi or nothing like that.
Yeah.
You step on my toes, I'm kicking your ass.
Right.
But my whole thing is why we just can't avoid that, why we just can't have a conversation.
Senseless violence is stupid.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, when I turn up, I'm not trying to lose.
Right.
That's why when dudes be like, yo, I'll murder you, I'll do. I'm like, all right, now I believe you.
Yeah.
Said you'll kill me, I believe you. Now what I'm supposed to do with that information?
Right.
You said you'll kill me, I believe you. Now what you want me to do?
Right.
Wait for you?
Right. So and I see a lot of dudes that got YouTube fame. Your father was somebody in the neighborhood. Still is to this day.
Shout out to Pop Dukes.
My father was somebody in the neighborhood who taught your father how to drive trucks and employed your father early on. So they grew up together.
Right.
And my father was older than your father. We're related through our mothers, but you know, our father, both of our fathers were somebody
Had
in
their
the
own
hood.
relationship.
Right.
They was tight.
We've always
Shout out to
had,
Uncle Zay.
yeah, we always had hood fame. We always was somebody. How is it now that you see dudes becoming somebody on YouTube, but then trying to act like because you somebody on YouTube, that made you somebody in the street? Do you see the backwardsness of that?
Of course, but you know what, dog? I saw this in the conscious community.
Mm.
Because remember, I was in the conscious community. For those who may not know, I was also part of an organization. I was the Northeast Regional Director of the Straight Black Pride Movement.
Right.
And you had the irritated genies, the sucker polites. I call them sucker polite. You had the Dr. Umars, you had the Setis, you had Sonetta, all the people who had views, but when it's time to fill them seats, a lot of times those YouTube views didn't translate into ticket sales, if you will.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It didn't translate to people coming out to your event just because they follow you on social media. It's the human nature. We like to see crashes.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times your views is just up because people want to see you crash out. People don't really support you. A lot of times these dudes are lames and they're getting support from lames.
Mm.
So they're going to, suckers are going to support sucker shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you could be a sucker by affiliation. So dudes will go to their hood and get popped from dudes in their own building.
Right.
But you say you that dude. Now, I never underestimate the bravado and the ignorance of young dudes.
Right.
So I don't even approach them like that. That's why when I walk through the hood, they always salute, because I never tried to son. In fact, a youngin told me before, he said, yo, because they all grown men, bigger than me now, 6 feet, 300 pound, big dudes. But I love them. Those still my young hitters.
Mm-hmm.
They say, yo, you always respected us since we was little, man. You always showed us love. And I said, you know why? Because all boys grow to be men and all men are worthy of respect.
Mm.
I'm always going to respect dudes. The moment you disrespect me, gloves is off and I'm going to show you what it is. But we can have a respectful disagreement.
Mm-hmm.
But the moment you start being disrespectful, that's when they go out the window. And I say that to say that when you don't respect the young dudes from your soil, you being disloyal in their eyes. Because they from your soil. They're from your legacy.
Your
they
lineage.
Repping the same block you say you rep. And if you're not passing that torch down to them properly, they're not going to respect you. That's why so many little dudes say they ain't got no OGs. Because a lot of y'all, not the audience, because dog, I know you got a sophisticated
Got the
audience.
smartest. I got the smartest.
Got a smart
Doggie
audience.
Diamonds did
You know what I'm
this.
saying? But these other dudes, you know what I'm saying? Like, they want to see people crash out. So it's dummies following dummies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's all everybody want to see. So if you ain't bringing the young people up, say, little dude, I ain't going to tell you how to get your money because I ain't going to give you none, but just be smooth with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all they want to hear. Encouragement, and let them know that it's better days ahead. Like, this ain't got to be your life. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm surrounded by dudes 60-something years old still doing hand-to-hand. Like, I see it.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't knocking it because I ain't going to feed you. But at the same token, my dude, you're supposed to be on weight. You're supposed to been retired. You're supposed to have some little dudes out here. But who am I to judge? And I'm not judging. I'm just stating facts on what it is. that I decided I wasn't gonna be that because that's not what I wanted for my children.
You know, it's
know what I'm
funny. In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king.
saying?
In the land
Yeah.
of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. So the all these dudes got lined up, and everybody that's in that title is deceased from a lineup or robbed from a lineup, robbed and deceased. Let me ask you something. Do you see the streets getting better, or is it gonna get worse?
The streets is the streets. It's always been horrible.
Right,
It's always been horrible. That's why I don't understand why dudes glorify it.
right, right,
I don't want to be a street dude no more. I outgrew that. Because as a street dude, you operate in the paradigm of a young man trying to figure out life, trying to get it the best way you know how. When you become a man, you're supposed to have a particular part of life figured out. Basically, how are you going to feed yourself and your family with minimum to no risk of your death or incarceration? So you go legit. You flip a brick, flip 2 bricks, you get a legitimate store. You buy property. You phase yourself out of it. You tell your connect, yo, this my little dude coming up behind me. He need a good plug. I'm getting ready to retire. You could work with him. You pass the torch. That way you still keep your credibility and love in the streets because you passed the plug part 1. Part 2, you up out of the game. You out of there now.
right.
All your money clean. I can't tell you how many times. And I'm so thankful, and I say this with the most humility. I'm so thankful I don't have any felonies on my jacket, and every investigation on me came up empty. Because I
Right.
never told on nobody. Can't nobody ever say that I snitched on them. And I've been in and out of courtrooms. You got to know how to play the game. That's why I could walk the streets with my head held high, and I ain't got nobody looking to run down on me.
When
I'll tell on myself before I tell on anybody.
yeah, let me ask you something. So we was like I said, we was immersed in
Because
it.
I'm saying, when we talk about the streets, dudes got to understand that that's not the ceiling.
Right.
To be the man in the streets, that's not the ceiling.
Yeah, that's not the end all be all. Reason why I'm going where I'm going right now. When you were still in the streets, but then you also pulled a power move off that you didn't brag about it. You didn't tell us. You went and got your GED. And for y'all don't know, that's our language for GED.
Oh yeah.
So as much as he was out getting high, drinking with us, taking doing all type of extracurricular street activity, ass kicking, you also got your GED, which landed you with the dope city job. When it wasn't cool. How long you been on? We ain't gotta tell you where you, but how long you been on your job?
Almost 20 years.
See?
And you got to remember, dog. You got to remember, even though I was outside, remember I always worked. I hid in plain sight.
Right.
I hid in plain sight. I remember one time somebody came to the job. They came to another job I had when I was working in the foster care system.
Right.
And he said, yo, what you doing here? I said, I work here. He said, yo, you got a job? I said, yeah, son. He said, oh, shit, son. He said, yo, I didn't know you had a job. Because he always seen me outside, any time of day. Remember, I would leave the job, make a run, drop off a package, pick up bread. I remember my plug one day. I had to re-up. Told him, come to my job. Said, ask for this dude. We read up on the job. He came and said, yo, this some ill shit. Said, come in my office.
Yep.
Did 1, 2, sent them on his way. Nobody knew I worked. Only people who knew I worked was the people I worked with in my family. But again, to your point about the gay, because I'm with my street dudes. I got money in the streets, but I got legit bread too. But the people I'm working with is talking about moving up. They talking about higher education. They talking about their bachelors, or I'm going back to get my master's. People was talking about what college they went to. And I'm in the middle of 2 worlds now. Because my dudes in the streets is talking about jail like it's college. Yeah, son, I was up in Attica. Yeah, me and son was in Coxsackie together. Word, while I was in Wyoming with dude. You know, they talking about their camaraderie there. And then again, people on the job talking about they went to Hampton, or word, you went to Hampton, I went to Howard, I went to this school, I went to that school. And there was a level of camaraderie. All I really had was the streets. The streets. And I wasn't jealous of none of it, but I was intrigued on the brotherhood of it all. because you got your jail brotherhood, you got your school brotherhood, and I had my street brotherhood. Because again, I stand 10 toes down to tell you I ain't got no felonies on my jacket. Thank the creator. Because
Mm-hmm.
any case I ever caught, I fought it tooth and nail.
Mm-hmm.
Only thing I got is a YO, and that's sealed.
Right.
That's sealed. My first joint. So with that, I said, yo, I already left school, so let me go back and get my GED. I got my GED. Said, you know what? I could go to school. Because people was like, yo, why you don't go back to school? You mad smart. Because every time they saw me, I'd be reading that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you mad smart. You should go back to school. And I did that. Took my GED, went back to school, and I paid for my school, paid full tuition with street money. Go
Mm-hmm.
to the Burstall's office with a mitt,
Mm-hmm.
full time. Here you go. Pay for all my classes out the pocket. You know, so I did something good with the bread I was getting in the street, as well as taking care of my family and friends. But I learned that there was so much more to life. Because while people was talking about what's that Howard Homecoming and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that,
yeah,
going to
yeah.
Creek Fest, down in VA and all that, I didn't go to none of that stuff. We was out of town hustling.
Right.
We was in Connecticut. We was in Philly. We was all over the place.
Right.
That was our travels. So my lifestyle was different, but I did want to know what it was like to go to college. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was on some school days tip. And I mean, there was more about life that I knew I didn't know that I wanted to learn. And I knew I couldn't learn it in the streets, because in the streets, it was nothing but death and jail.
Right.
And I was like literally tired. It was a point I thought I was numb, that I couldn't cry no more, because always going to a funeral.
Right.
It was just so.
And I remember it was a particular point where living to 18 was an accomplishment to us. Yo, I turned 18, yo, because again, pre-teens was already outside with the bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With the bullshit. How does it feel to be your age now and touching continents and different shores and all that? Because I always tell people to travel. I always tell people to get the hell out of this country, go see the world. And how does it feel to have a passport?
It feels beautiful, man.
Yeah.
I like that. I could just flash my passport. I get on planes. Like, let me say this to the audience who may be there, may not be there. When you're in the streets, you dream of certain things. You say you want it. You say you want to do certain things. And part of you want to do it, but you don't really think you can do it until life really start happening. You start taking those steps towards getting to your goals. Last year, I went to Hawaii, man. For those who don't know, I've been to Africa 4 times. Hawaii is way further than Africa, believe it or not.
Wow.
Hawaii is about 10 hours from New York, a straight flight. I took a straight flight. You know, me and my family went. Me and my children went. Like, that's a beautiful thing. Like, when you could get your family there. I was able to take my children to Disney. You know, it feels good to be a grandpa. I got to take the children to Sesame Place with my kids.
They know who Zuri is.
Yeah. Shout out to my baby Zuri.
Yeah.
It's a good feeling when you don't have no beef, when you're not on edge. Because when you're in the streets, your anxiety is on 100. I don't care what nobody say. You gripped up, ready to pop off, especially when you got your children with you. Because you don't want nothing to happen to the little people that you're in charge of. But your mind is always on something happening. So you always on alert, always on edge, looking around for somebody to do something stupid, and you ain't even thinking about it. In fact, when I was in Hawaii, that was the first time I ever walked the streets with flip-flops on.
Word. No Crocs.
Comfortable.
We still don't wear Crocs in the street. You ain't wearing no Crocs outside. Yeah.
Crocs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But that's what I'm saying. And that's how good it feels, dog. It feels good to be accomplished. Like we talked about weight loss earlier. I don't think I touched on it, but even when I lost weight, after I lost weight, I inspired other people.
Mm-hmm.
So it moved me to become a
certified personal trainer. Certified
personal trainer through National Academy of Sports Medicine. But not only that, I ran 3 full marathons and over 20 half marathons.
Right.
I've done obstacle courses, bike rides all over the city. There's a 40-mile bike tour. A TD Bank 5-borough bike tour where you ride 40 miles around a bike tour. It's super dope. If you got a bike and you're in New York, I encourage everybody to do it because it takes you past all kind of dope landmarks. Radio City, go through Prospect Park, you ride through Brooklyn, past the Brooklyn Bridge, Manhattan Bridge, you drive on the FDR. Like, it's so much dopeness. But again, when you in the streets, all you thinking about is getting to the bag. You only thinking about the money, and you forget to enjoy life because you on edge when you out there in the streets. Because not only you watching for the jack boys, you still watching for the police too.
Right.
So that's not really, you really not comfortable until you go to a club with your mans and you getting inebriated and you feel you could take a little anxiety off. But even then, you still on alert because you with other dudes who live just like you, where you know none of y'all value each other's lives. When you on vacation, you meet people from all around the country and everybody just out to have a good time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you shake your hands with people you would never meet.
It got
Just
so
on the
bad. It got so bad in the streets. Because remember, you're known for the street guys, but then you're also known by the police,
Yeah.
homicide detectives, TNT. And it got so bad one day that we was just outside chilling. And the police walked up to us and was like, y'all kill anybody lately?
Yeah.
In front of our grandmother. Like y'all, they know how much I talk about grandma. We got so much respect for our grandmother. They walked up to us in front of her and was like, y'all kill anybody lately? The police. I ain't talking about blue and white. I'm talking about them dudes. And it's like, how do you answer that? So things went off like, fuck this shit. Like, nah, we got to get away from this. And again, I want the audience to know, and this is more of an inspirational tale.
Yeah.
Between both of us,
you could do it.
yeah, between both of us, we lost probably like 200 and something pounds between both of us.
Yeah, easy.
Accomplished so much, and they know a little bit about my life. I started behind the 8 ball. I had all the excuses and never used them. You know what I'm saying? I had all the excuses. His mother had to be my mother. You know, 2021, y'all know the big losses we took in the family. And that's why I talk to y'all so much about mental health, because we have to keep each other sane. And sometimes he called me, just let him talk. Yeah. No judgment, just let him talk. Sometimes I call him, he just let me talk. And it's so bad if you be around us and my other cousin Poe, we finish each other's sentences. We have the same exact thoughts at the same exact time so many times, but we became each other crutches to where we don't have to rely on street guys to be the catalyst for what we want to be. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm a grown-ass man. So what I accomplished and some of the things we accomplished as children. I accomplished it as a child that y'all don't know. I done traveled everywhere. I done got money. I already had fame and success as a child. So a lot of this stuff be kind of weird to me. Remember when I used to call his son, Little Tad, we call him Buddy because I used to babysit him. And I could call Little Buddy and say, yo, I'm about to go interview Meek Mill. You want to come? He'd be like, nah. Now, a little dude his age be wanting to go, but his son in Pampers was pushing the drum machine when Biggie was in the crib. When Little Kim was there, he was there in Pampers. So we always took the youth and our family and put them in a position so they never had to do anything we did, go through anything we did, even be exposed to anything that we was a part of. And that's what a big homie, a OG, an elder, and a leader do. You don't pass on trauma. You don't pass on stupid shit. The kids don't even know how real it gets sometimes because they never been exposed.
You know, it's funny. They didn't know until, I remember Lil Tad was 14 and we had the hood day.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's like, oh, that's your son. It's like, yo, your pop's a legend, your pop's a legend. And when we left, he said, yo, why everybody keep calling you a legend? I said, how long we lived here? He said, all our life. I said, nobody ever been strong enough to chase your father out of here. Part 1. Part 2, I never bust nobody head that ever deserved it. I said,
that didn't deserve it. That didn't deserve it.
I love you. Yeah. I never tell you what I used to do and the things I used to do out here. But he was becoming a teenager. And of course, you start learning the streets because nobody really know who their parent is. You know, that's just your mom and your dad. They don't know who you are, what you've done before they was born. Because sometimes the kids act like you was just born, grown, and old.
Right. I
was like, yo, I was your age before?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it was that I let him know that I changed my life for him. I would
Mm-hmm.
never want my child to go through what I went through. And I used to talk to his friends and shout out to his homie Block,
Block,
who was
yes.
deleted
Dennis,
years
yep.
ago,
Mm-hmm.
because I used to talk to him too. I used to always tell him I would never want y'all to go through what I went through because y'all might not be as lucky.
Even
And
Tango, free Tango. And I remember one particular time
shout out to
when
Tango.
Tango
Yeah.
was growing up, he was like, yo, you the big homie. I said, nah, I don't rock with you. He's like, well, what do I do? I said, you don't respect your father. Your father, my man, and your father, although he might not be this, that, and the third, your father's a respectable dude. So how you respect me, you don't respect your own father.
Yeah.
And
Because he don't know who his father is.
he didn't know who his father was, but I had to explain to him, yo, your father a good dude. And I remember one day they pulled up on the block together. He was like, yo, I'm always gonna love you, not Tango, whatever. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo,
Young hitter.
he, you know what I'm saying? And he was like telling me one day, he was like, yo, I'm always gonna love you because, yo, you told me that. I told him, because one day I begged him, call your father. Your father's never gonna not answer the phone for you. Your father's always gonna talk to you, but you gotta listen now. You at the point where you not listening, you going to prison, you doing all of this, but your pop's never gonna turn his back on you. And that's what we used to do and still try to do in the neighborhood. But we also realize some of them young cubs is getting a main. And I don't want to be in the field on the plane. I'm not chasing elk no more. I'm not chasing elk no more. I'm not drinking. It's y'all time. You know what I'm saying? Because we got little dudes like Jay Critch and other them. They claim our block. You know what I'm saying? Where we was born, literally, I try to tell the audience, my whole family was born in one building.
Yeah.
The whole family, even our mothers and father lived in the building. My mother and father lived in the building, and both my grandmothers lived in the same building. You know what I'm saying? So what I wanted to do to y'all tonight, or do for y'all tonight, is bring on somebody. Maybe you can understand me a little bit better. You can understand my upbringing, but also understand you do have a choice. And if you have, this topic is debatable considering there's not much pointing directly to the hood. Well, how could you say the topic is debatable? You must not have seen it from the beginning. Nisha, thank you for deleting that. Anyway, because again, with a lot of y'all, you talk, but you don't listen. But you got two ears and one mouth for a reason. I'm not your authority. I'm not superior to anybody. I'm just trying to tell you, even if it's not for you, you might have somebody that's your junior, somebody that's youthful, a nephew, a little cousin, that when they tell you how hard it is outside, you say, I want you to watch this. Look what these brothers was able to achieve and overcome. Taz still got bullet wounds on him. Stab wounds. I still got that too. Our friends got
still in the hood.
Yeah, and he's still in the hood.
I still gotta walk through past all the stuff we talking about. But you know what I do like, though?
Mm-hmm.
And keep it a buck. The other day was her day. And people are inspired.
Right.
People are inspired about what you and I do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're inspired. And that's all we want to do. If we can inspire somebody, because there are sisters out here with children who are just like us.
Right.
And it's easy to sit on the internet, say this is debatable. I don't know how it's debatable.
Right.
When you're talking to dudes from the streets, giving you the credentials, giving you reference points that your favorite rappers have referenced.
Right.
People we got direct lines on, people who like we stand with, people who can attest that we ain't capping about nothing.
Right.
Because y'all seem to like to listen to the entertainers. But who do the entertainers listen to?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And the people that your favorite entertainers listening to is listening to us.
Right.
Because we not telling you nothing wrong. We telling you how to survive. Don't listen to nobody keep telling you, yo, the street shit. Yo, how many dudes are still in jail for stealing the leather bomb in 1988?
Right.
And laying somebody down. You think they still want to be there?
Right.
Yeah, I dead in the morning bomber though. They feel stupid.
So success.
After a while, you feel stupid. Yeah.
So success.
But again.
But listen, success is overcoming trauma, losing of your parents. Myself, he lost his mother 3 years ago. Losing your siblings. Losing your best friends. Before you had facial hair, when you didn't even understand what death was. Losing weight. Not losing your mind. losing the mentality that this is my end all be all. So although the streets don't give, it only take. With all them losses, still having your sanity, still being able to smile, and still wanting to inspire people to be great. Because we don't got to do this shit. We can sit here and just say, yo, one time. That's what everybody else do. That's what everybody else do. But I'm telling you, some of the shit that we survived, everybody's not going to survive. That's why one of our cousins, first cousin, committed suicide. Because he got put in a situation where he came from the streets and he was a lion that got put in a whole different cage. And he was like, what the hell is this?
And adapt.
You know what I'm saying? He couldn't adapt to this way of life, but then it became his way of life. So if you have any faith in humanity, you have any faith in your higher self and a higher being, shows like this is for you, because it's not a testament of who I am. It's a testament of what I become and what he became. Dudes really achieved some shit, because when we was little, I'm going to ask you the question and you can answer it. We had to sleep on the floor. We ate on the floor. We never had a kitchen table. The kitchen table was full of bullshit. Our kitchen table was paper on the floor. When we slept on the floor, Tad, tell the audience what was right on the floor next to us.
Nah, we had a dog. We pooped everywhere. Yo, shit was hard. Shit was hard.
Because we had a grandmother that had to take care of. She inherited 4 children from her oldest daughter passing. Then we just had a very big family. So my grandmother inherited like 8, 9 children. Baby, I was a baby. I was 2.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? I was 2.
You know what's so funny, and not to cut you off. It's like the first time I ever heard Ghostface, All I Got Is You, I was driving. I never forget, I was on Atlantic Avenue. I was on Atlantic Avenue down by Long Island College Hospital. I just had to pull over and I started crying like, yo, was this dude in our crib or something?
Right.
15 of us in the 3-bedroom apartment, roaches everywhere, cousins and aunts was there. Yo, I was like, yo, hold up. Because see, that's the part nobody really like to talk about, their humble beginnings. Everybody want to act like they was born on. Everybody act like they been getting money. And granted, I'm gonna keep it real. Some dudes was getting money. They come from affluent families, but were so attracted to the street life, they decided to jump off the porch early. And we used to be looking at some of them dudes like, son, you bugging.
Right.
If my mom's give me whatever I want, I go to school every day. I do my homework, dishes, but we ain't come from that.
Right. Hooky, truant kids. Truant kids. We were truant. We like, yo, and there was so many like us. And now, unfortunately, some of our friends are deceased. Some of them are incarcerated. Some of them suffer from substance abuse. And to see that and to still remain pura vida, I appreciate your donation. To come from that, take videos like this and show the youth, show some of the homies, show, yo, this dude got a YouTube. His cousin just started a YouTube. His cousin is a certified personal trainer, and he don't even use me as his trump card because he told me I want to get it on my own. Of course, you inspire, help name the show, I help do the artwork and all of that. But he does his own thing. If he need me, he know I'm there. But he wants to get it. He don't say, yo, my cousin is this and he don't help me. Nah, he do his own thing. Some of the shit he be doing, I don't even know about. But Tad has been there for every step of my career. When I was 12 years old, what did I tell you? In the little room.
Which time?
In the little room, when I told you about what my future gonna be like.
Oh, when you said you was gonna make a record?
Yep.
You said something about the music industry.
Yep. 12 years old.
This conversations. I want to say this too, dog, before we get off of it.
Yes, sir.
I want people to watch what we do in the upcoming future.
Fact.
This is the introduction. I'm a certified personal trainer and a certified life coach who operates with integrity. Let's keep it clear. That's why I don't hide my face. I use my real name. I don't play them games. I'm not hiding from nobody, not hiding from police, not hiding from nobody in the streets. I want to move people forward. You know what I mean? A lot of people want you to be stuck. Hear me now. A lot of people want you to be stuck. That's why sometimes you'll see people write negative comments on this video.
Yeah, right,
And
right,
we
right.
try to inspire people and encourage. You always gonna have that. So please be prepared for that. Please be prepared for that. And don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged because the climate we live in right now, everybody in society, either for Kamala, you for Trump, you for this, you for that, everybody got to be beefing. There's nothing wrong with uniting with like-minded people because that's where your strength is going to be. Things you may be lacking, you might find a partner, a friend, a coworker, a family member that can hold up the other end for you. You need that balance. Don't let nobody discourage you from the things you want to do because I see a lot of that going on. Even with brothers I respect. I respect these dudes in the dirty streets of YouTube. I have a respect for them because I understand the frustration and the struggle of trying to get to the next level. They just don't know how to go about it yet because unfortunately, conversations like this is squashed.
Mm-hmm.
They want to act like it belonged to only Ivy League people or people with big money. They never want to talk about how dudes from the mud really made it out and made it out without harming other people, without sacrificing nobody, without talking all that spooky Illuminati stuff,
Mm-hmm.
how we really made it out of the mud. Not saying we up in the ivory tower, but we damn sure ain't in the mud no more.
Shout out to our
And we
brother
got
Bomani too. Bomani's in here.
shout out to my brother
Yeah,
Bomani,
yeah.
my Yasa.
Who been on the boots on the ground with us? You know what I'm saying? Boots on the ground.
Yeah, definitely boots on the ground. Our brother Bomani.
So it's
Whole
funny.
United Front crew.
Tad to tell me sometimes to stun on people because you already know
Yeah,
what
I do.
He be like, yo, you
just shit on them, show them how
just shit on
easy
them
it is.
one time. What do I always say?
Nah, fuck them.
Yeah, I ain't trying to prove nothing to nobody. You know what I'm saying? I
Just,
live
you know what? Sometimes that's the only shit they respect.
Right.
Show them what you drive. Just pull the jewelry game out one
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Like, yo, all that shit y'all worry about, dudes been done that. They off that.
How long I had my
And I
jewelry?
think, you know,
2000.
millionaires. We ain't no millionaires, but we all right.
I
We
had
all
my
right
jewelry
now.
since 2002.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bet you if you get it praised, it'd be crazy. You'd be
Yeah. Nah, they had offered me, but again, so if you was inspired by this, anything that we're saying, you know the next Nipsey, you know the next Tupac, you know the next Biggie, you know the next Big L. You might be them yourself, or you might know them. What you should do is get behind them as much as possible and get out of the hood. There is no happy ending. The only happy ending is to remove yourself. Because the mentality is the mentality, and as my brother Tajo like to say, the rules don't change for nobody. The rules is the rules. They're dumb rules, it's nigga shit, but that is prevalent on these things that we have. So if you think what we're saying is a breath of fresh air, that's why I have shout out to Core Omega too. He told me, yo, a lot of responsibility come with power. I know I have the power to get people ass whooped if I wanted to, and I could be somewhere on the beach. I got a lot of power, but I never abuse it because I know responsibility come with that. Just like I could call people into war, I could also get them hurt. Just like I could call people into war, I could also get them in prison. So I think about all them things. That's why I don't be on here loud and boisterous. Nobody never play with me in my face as a man standing before them ever. So don't let these little things y'all hear get you fucked up thinking you could play games because they know better. You know what I'm saying? It's just everybody is fronting for the internet. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I've always been popular forever. I was a little kid. I've been popular since I was a baby. You know what I'm saying? That's just the truth because our parents and our lineage, you know, we've always been somebody, and we got one of the biggest families in the hood. That's just the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Newton Mook. It's just funny
Yeah.
because they called me on FaceTime today. We just chopped it up.
They call you together?
Huh? Nah. They did the three-way FaceTime joint.
Oh, so I say they call you together at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
And his children is my children. That's why I said we are a village for real. Like we are a village for real. Like if his children need something, they call me. You know what I'm saying? And y'all see Zuri, y'all know her. I used to watch his daughter, which is Zuri's mother, I used to babysit her the way I had Zuri. You know what I'm saying? I never had a job, y'all, so I was always the babysitter. I always did music. So all the kids used to come with me and be in the crib with me. But this is for the youth to be able to show them. It ain't for me to always tell my accolades. Sometimes y'all got to brag for me, but bragging in the sense of telling people you can do it. You can start a podcast. You can start a YouTube. You can do things. And I come from working so hard at this shit that it drove me mentally ill. And he was right there. It's that real. I went from a room with 40 guys to just me and him. And some dudes I don't speak to this day. But I always had good intention for everybody. That don't mean everybody got a good intention for you. And those was defining moments for me to say, I got to get away from this shit because this shit only take. It ain't never give me nothing. It only take. So to come back from anxiety, depression, and losing so many people and losing so much, to be where I sit today, I'm happy, I'm healthy, and if nobody else is proud of me, I'm proud of myself. I could brag about my cousin. He brag about me all the time. I get to brag about him. And when you got a family member that you could brag about, yo, it's nothing better than that. And again, we have children coming up in our family who's talented and do things and gonna go on to do great things. That's why y'all always say, y'all hear me say, yo, don't fuck with the kids in front of me. Because if you fuck with the kids, you gonna get your ass whipped. Don't fuck with the kids. Let the kids be kids. And let them get everything that they deserve or whatever they want. The kids know with me, when they with me, I ain't telling them no to nothing. We can eat ice cream all day. Remember, I used to take Buddy for the summer. You know what I'm saying? I used to take his son for the summer. As soon as he get out of school, he's staying with me for the summer. But Tad, give him your social media. Tisha put up the OG Wisdom podcast. That's his YouTube. Subscribe to that. But give him your social media as well.
Waverly Ave Tad, Waverly _Ave Tad, WAVERLYTAVETAD on Instagram. You can also follow me, Coach Tad Cromwell, on TikTok, as well as Instagram. That's something I'm getting ready to relaunch over there. I don't be active over there because I'm really in real life working on things.
Right.
Nobody want to get excuses. People want results. So that's what we're building. We're building results. So again, that's Waverly Ave Tad on Instagram. You can follow me there. Also, please subscribe to the Thorough Black Talk Radio.
Right. Yeah. Shout out to Sister Keisha.
Every Thursday, 8 p.m. That's where we go deep into.
You'll be there tomorrow. You'll be there tomorrow. Tomorrow, you'll be there.
Yeah. Tomorrow we're gonna be locked and loaded, rocking and rolling, where we talk about the political climate and cultural things that affect our people. Because unfortunately, Black people as a whole, we only know half of the things we think we know and none of the things that we should know.
Damn. All right.
Doggie Diamonds did this.
On that note, yo, I'm gonna sign out the show. He gotta get up and go to work tomorrow in the morning too. But
That's right. Hit the gym first. Hit the
gym for 2 weeks. My back all chiseled.
Work up.
But also, if you have any
thanks
fitness,
for having me though.
Yeah, and then also if you have any fitness goals, tap in with him too as well, because he's definitely a personal trainer and a certified. He read that big ass book and passed the test. So again, y'all know I don't like school, so he do all the school and shit. But
Now, that shit was hard though.
Yeah, word. All right, Tad, I'm gonna holler at you later on.
All right, peace.
Yep, later. All right, y'all. So sometimes I get to bring on my family. I get to show y'all my lineage, where I come from, what I'm about outside of the YouTube realm. And again, for me, I want everything to be inspiration for y'all. I want everything to be a point that if it could change, shout out to the OG Maestro Fresh West. If it could change your thinking a little bit, if you could tweak it a little bit, it makes a big difference. You know what I'm saying? The streets is done. I've been telling y'all that. Nothing to be glorified. We survived it. We did it. We here. We touch different continents. We go to different shores. We live our life. And we come from that. Don't want it no more. Never going back. Don't glorify it. Don't think it's cool. You have youngsters, because whether you like it or not, them children outside acting a fool, those are your children, literally. Some of you are parents. Your child won't listen. Your nephew won't listen. Your little cousin won't listen. Please show them. Please show, because Hove ain't coming. Hove ain't talking to you like this. Diddy ain't talking to you like this. A lot of people is not talking to you like this. A lot of people are fronting like they don't love it. But every now and again, they still want to act like they're this and they're that. Nah, we off that. You know what I'm saying? We off that. I live a great life. I'm happy. I'm healthy. And I'm happy that y'all join me. And I'm happy if I could talk to 7,000 people a night, 2,000 or 200 or 2, I did my job. This is what we have platforms for. Yeah, we give you some entertainment, but this is what we have platforms for. Think about this. If you didn't have a voice, you could no longer speak. Imagine what you would want to say. Don't waste your voice. If you could no longer speak, imagine what DOC wants to say. Imagine what Beanie Siegel want to say. Yeah, they could say it, but not with the conviction and strength that they once was able to speak with. Imagine what you would want to say if you lost your voice. You have one now. Use it. Use it as much as possible. Because one day, you're not going to have your voice. See, when I'm gone, I left a lot of blueprints. I left a lot of digital real estate. That's what it's all about. But I appreciate y'all. Thank everybody for the donations. Anybody who sent the Cash App, I appreciate you as well. If you want to support, remember, all of this is funded by us. Taking kids on trips, funded by us. We never asked anybody for anything. And the money that we get from the people, we pay it forward. Always. None of that fronting shit. This is real. Boots on the ground. We got people in the chat room that could testify that they've been with us in the street. All love, always. So with that, Gary Johnson, I appreciate you. Please share this. Please show this to a little homie, a little young lady, whatever. The youth group, I will let y'all know when it opens back up. Because of what happened with the pandemic, it slowed a lot of stuff down. But that's about to start again. And again, we more action than we all talk. So with that, I appreciate y'all. Until next time, I had to show my family off for y'all too. Because when you got your lineage, and we make our ancestors proud, for real. And unfortunately, if you get it fucked up, you will get your ass whooped. I just want people to know that. Niggas don't be playing, but it ain't even about that. Conflict resolution is so much that we do in the community, for the community. And this is what this for. So I talk for a living. Time is up for me. I got a dealership appointment at 10 a.m. tomorrow. So you already know, that's my brother Bomani right there. He has a podcast as well called The Parry. Make sure you look him up. The Parry, the TheParry. He's a boxing pugilist, so make sure you support that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, all my friends are doing good. I love it. We all build off each other. We all feed off each other. And that's a good group of friends to be in. Nobody hating on each other. Nobody want what nobody want. And if you show any signs of hate or dissension, you are ostracized from the crew. You will get chastised by the crew. So with that, I'm out. Until next time. Let me hit y'all with this Aretha Franklin. This is Aretha Franklin.